guess this is just going to be a hard open.
Oof.
I'm
That never happens.
I'm not softly pitching it so that you can go, oh, we're recording?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually you do that, but I heard you click and I saw you click today.
Yeah,
so
it takes the magic out of it.
It does.
Welcome, everyone, to a very early episode 49 of the Daily Motor Podcast. Early for us, not for you. You're still going to be watching this at the same time you probably always do, because I'm going to post it at the same time, but we are recording earlier.
Yeah, it's 11 a.m., which may not seem super early, but I have been up since 7:30, which means I am already ready to go to sleep.
There are probably a lot of people cross with us for complaining about having to be in.
I'm not complaining, just stating the fact.
Yeah, we had to get up early this morning to review the Infiniti Q50.
That's right.
Yeah.
That probably got you out of bed, right?
Oh, yeah. Just ready to go. I mean, it's not a sleepy car, but it's not an exciting car either. It's if you looked up, and this is such a cliche phrase to use, but if you looked up luxury sedan in the dictionary, it's the Q50.
Yeah. Or it's the Lexus GS.
The GS is dead now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's right there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Infiniti probably just not going to appreciate that. What else do we have? Subaru Legacy. Toyota RAV4.
There we go.
There we go. That's an adventure vehicle if I've ever seen
CJ7.
one. Look at that. Nice.
That's a car.
Alfa Romeo Giulia, Cadillac ATS-V. Sorry, it was a Giulia Quad. AMG C63S, and BMW M3. What a fun group of cars.
Yeah. Which one would you have? If I was a journalist and I had to pick one of those to like drive and defend, it'd be the Alfa. But if I had to actually own one, it'd probably be the Mercedes or the Cadillac.
Wow, that's like my exact answer as well.
Yeah.
As strange as it is, my heart would want the C63.
Yeah.
Especially because that was back when the C63 was still a V8.
Yeah.
But
manual in the Cadillac.
The ATS-V is a great car, and I would probably want to take it on track, and that'd be the best option. That M3 was kind of a dull generation of M3 compared to all the others.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably take the Mercedes. Because the 3.6, while it's good in the ATS, is so much less exciting than these other two motors, the Alfa Romeos and the Cadillac.
Yeah.
Or Mercedes. You know what? Actually, I would have the Alfa Romeo. Because while it's always broken, I could drive my Escape.
Okay. It always just comes back. You're going to miss that if you end up getting rid of it.
Yeah. It's literally the most first world problem to be sad that I don't get to drive my beater car as often as I do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get sad that you never get to drive your cars?
Yeah.
You have a lot of cool cars that you
I
don't
do.
drive.
So the only time I get sad is if I'm on a good road and it's beautiful outside and I don't have anything else really to do. But when I'm not sad is when I'm like running errands, it's cold out, and I just want to get in something that has Apple CarPlay and heated seats and heated steering wheel. Then I'm like, whatever. I just would rather be driving this. But during the summer, yeah. But I mean, I drove my Cayman, I think, more this year than I did last year. So
last year you put about 400 some miles on it.
No, I didn't put that many on it last year. I don't think. No,
okay.
I put like 300. I put like 320 on it this year or something.
Okay. What year is the license plate tab good through?
I'm not going to say that on the internet.
we don't want old Big Gretch listening into the Daily Motor Podcast. And actually, that would be Jocelyn Benson, our Secretary of State. She'd come in and get you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jocelyn, I voted for you, so don't be mean to me.
Yeah. Please, just let him drive his Cayman. It's not worth as much as the MSRP was, trust me.
No, it's not. Not yet.
Give it another 20 years, and
maybe
all Caymans will be electric and automatic, and your car will be worth a lot of money.
I think the next gen Cayman is EV.
Strange.
Yeah.
It could be a fun car. I expect if there's any brand that's not going to screw it up, it'll be Porsche.
No, it'll be fine, but the purists and everyone else, values of 987s will go up.
Speaking of values of 987s, I showed Chris an advertisement recently for a 996 911 Carrera cab.
Oh, the one with the gray interior?
Mm-hmm.
It had a carbon fiber steering wheel, though.
Yeah.
Or wood or something?
I think it was like a carbon, something sort of deal. For only 28-something thousand or something like that, 26. And
it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I feel like the 911s would be easier to work on than the Boxsters. because you can at least get
'cause
to.
it's accessible.
Yeah.
Well,
to
you know
some
how that
degree.
was. You owned a Boxster.
I know, and I disliked servicing it,
Yeah.
which German cars need.
I just paid the dealer to do mine.
Yeah, or Keone.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
you haven't.
well,
Yeah,
the
he hasn't gotten to
Cayman.
Cayman status yet.
Yeah.
He'll work on your other German cars.
Yeah.
See, your Japanese cars never need any work.
I only own
The only one.
one Japanese car, I think. Just
Oh.
my Lexus,
Mm.
right? Everything else is German
Or American.
or American.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you own a lot of German cars, and
4
they're
German cars, 1 American car, and 1 Japanese car.
yeah. You haven't
I
had
need to get it down to just 1 of each again.
right because you went and drove for the first time in about a month and a half one of your German cars, and then proceeded to break in a new way.
Yeah. I took the M Roadster out after it had sat for about a month waiting to get fixed because the power steering fluid reservoir exploded while it was sitting. It's a thing that BMWs do. They break while they sit. So I took it out for a drive to film it for the Topher channel and for Winding Road magazine. And it ran well, drove great. I had a lot of fun. But then I went to film some top up driving for my video on the Topher, and the rear window broke in half.
Did you get that on camera?
Yes, I did. And you know what, Charlie? It's a common issue.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I fully believe that. Yeah. As is all the issues with the M
Yeah.
Roadster.
So I ordered a new one on eBay, and it should be here soon. It was shipped out. Should have been shipped out this morning.
Did you do another plastic rear window?
Yeah.
Why? Why didn't you take this opportunity to upgrade to glass? That's what I did in my Boxster when it plastic window broke.
Because the plastic window I got is supposed to be stronger. It is not OEM, so it won't fade and break. Also, I'm not keeping the car, so it doesn't matter. And it just zips in. A new one zips in.
Oh, that's nice.
And if I did glass, I think I would have had to get it stitched into the top.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
and also glass is way more expensive than getting a plastic.
Okay. For mine, this is actually, I don't actually think I've told you this story before.
Oh, good.
So my top broke because I had to put the car up into service position to get in fill up power steering fluid,
And it ripped.
and it ripped as all the, because it was like 40 degrees outside Fahrenheit, and it cracked. So in a very Charlie fashion, I just kept my eye out on Craigslist and everything for a new top. And throughout the winter, I glued the crack, because it wasn't a huge crack. It was maybe 6 inches or so, and I sort of just glued it and just continued to drive it. I mean, it's a $12,000 Boxster S. And lo and behold, within a few months, a 986 black with glass rear window Boxster top popped up on Craigslist up in Howell.
Oh.
Brand new, in box. And I was like, that's remarkable. For a good price, too. It was like $500 or something like that. I mean, it was like well below what I would have to pay. So I'm like, I hit the guy up, and he's like, yeah, I actually worked on in Ann Arbor, so like I can bring it to you and everything. We met in the south side of Ann Arbor, perfectly reasonable, normal guy, everything. And so I'm checking. It's literally a new in box, like OEM Boxster top.
Wow.
In black, which was nice because my car originally from new came blue, but black blue looked much better.
Right.
So I was happy it was a black top. And I was like, after checking out, I'm like, I got to ask, like, why are you selling this? And he said, actually, it was my father's, and he passed away about a year ago. I might be misremembering the story, but I think he said he killed himself.
Oh.
Pretty sure he told me in the interaction that he killed himself about a year ago.
Oh, dear.
And they're just now cleaning out his garage, and this was in it.
So they probably sold the Boxster and then found the roof or something. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
then.
thank you, sir, for killing yourself, because
Okay.
I got a really great deal on an excellent Boxster top.
Okay. That's a good way to look at that.
Yeah, trying to spin positive.
Bring it
Yep.
bring it full. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a very Charlie story.
It is a very Charlie story.
So the Infiniti Q50,
Yeah.
a car that won't make you want to kill yourself, because it's just good. It's
It
just
is.
it's just you get in it,
It's a good car.
you press the start button, and it fires right up.
And it goes beep, beep, beep.
Is it not a fourth beep?
There might be a fourth beep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the power steering column comes down at
Yep,
you.
that's right.
Yep.
Easy
And-
access.
Mhm.
Very comfortable car. The double screen layout. Grew to
Actually-
like that this week. That
Mhm.
was kind of the turning point for me, was driving
Okay.
this Q50 around this week. And we talked about this in our review, but this was the week of Thanksgiving. So I drove my 92-year-old grandfather in the Q50. I went and picked him up because he doesn't drive anymore. And he complimented the ride on the Q50 and told me how comfortable it was. And old people usually, that's the first thing old people notice is ride comfort.
Yes, my grandmother rode in the back of my mom's friend's Chevy Equinox, and she said the ride was horrendous.
Okay,
that's the one thing she had to say about the car was the ride. Yeah,
the ride was horrendous.
So it was the worst thing she'd ever ridden in.
Solid.
But yeah, your grandfather is a sedan enthusiast.
Yes.
And does he still own the SHO?
Yep.
Even though he can't drive?
It just sits in his garage.
Will you be a benefactor of that car?
Probably. Yeah.
You and Nathan can be SHO enthusiasts.
I know, and I don't. It's tough because we're kind of still in that transitioning period of. We haven't straight up been like you can't drive anymore, but like my dad took his keys away. Like the keys are no longer at his house.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, that car will probably go to your dad, right? And he'll just sell it or something.
I don't know what's going to happen to that car. I mean,
I
don't really have a use for it. So.
That's the tough thing with performance sedans, especially a car like the Taurus SHO. It's just good and cool enough to not want to just dispose of, but it's not quite like fun on a daily basis enough to like justify having around. It's not like a Focus RS where it's like this is a genuine like sporty car. But it's also not like just like a Ford Freestyle or something like that where you're just like, get this out of my sight.
Yeah. It would be a good, like poor weather daily.
But then you run into that thing of like, it's like it's in good shape still. It's probably not rusty at all. So it's like, do you want to be using it?
How many miles are on it? I think it's only got 20,000 miles on it.
Oh, okay. This isn't the green one, right?
No, it's red.
Okay.
It's a 2017.
Okay.
Which I think may have been the last year of the SHO. I don't know, but I think it doesn't have very many miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's sitting in his garage right now.
Okay.
So, but it's tough right now because I don't know that he knows. I think he knows by now that he's not driving anymore, but
well, he'll hear when this comes out tomorrow.
Oh, right. Yeah, because he definitely knows how to operate YouTube.
Well, I imagine he would enjoy listening to the Daily Motor Podcast. He gets to hear his grandson talk about cars all day. You should take his phone. Does he have a smartphone?
No.
I wonder if you can. Does he have a smart speaker? One of those Google Homes or Amazon Alexas or something?
Yes.
I wonder if you can ask that to play the Daily Motor Podcast.
You might be able to.
And then he could just sit and listen to all 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Of the Daily Motor Podcast.
We'll block this one out though, so he can't hear that he can't drive anymore. Oh man.
Yeah, I like the Q50. It's just
I like it too. I don't like the noise it makes when you lock it with the key fob though.
Oh yeah, it beeps quite loudly. I know this is a thing I like to do, but I'm going to bring up that class of vehicle and see what we would buy it.
Oh, in U.S. News.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are an enthusiast of that. Who writes the articles? Do we know them?
I know one guy who writes the articles on there, and he was pretty cool. I don't remember his name, though. I drove the Sportage with him.
Oh, is he the one that gave you COVID?
I wonder if he did. I imagine it was
actually, that wasn't COVID then, was it? That was just like the flu.
I don't know.
Bad flu thing.
I don't know. COVID's not real.
Okay.
Now we're definitely going to get demonetized.
Yeah. Fact check. Like Facebook, they've like flag everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the DM podcast is going to get flagged. Us and Joe Rogan, All right, luxury small cars. Is that a small car? See where it pops up. Yes.
There it is.
Okay, so let's start at the top. Audi A4.
Why is that number one? I haven't driven it,
we don't
so
know
I can't
we
say.
haven't driven it. Audi A5.
I haven't driven it.
C-Class.
I haven't driven it.
G70.
I'd have the Genesis.
That's an interesting one for me. Because I like the Genesis, but I feel like the Infiniti, much like a classy piece of furniture, the Infiniti might feel nicer for longer than the Genesis. Because we know with Korean cars, it has that initial wow factor, but like I think the leather's nicer in the Infiniti.
Well, you could go get in a 2012 Infiniti and it's the same car, so you could see how it's worn.
Mm-hmm.
You could see how yours would look in 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, does the G70 have a power adjusted steering column?
I think it does actually.
Okay.
Yeah, the one. Well, not. I bet the base doesn't, but the Sport Prestige.
G70 would probably cost less, and it looks cooler. So that'd probably.
And it's faster.
We're gonna ignore the 2 Series because that's too small. Kia Stinger, not a luxury car.
I would have the Infiniti over the Stinger. Sorry, I do like the Stinger quite a bit, but they all have an interior rattle.
Everyone. It's at the hatch rattles.
Yeah, well, it's the hatch rattle.
Yeah.
Hatch rattle, and also
It's
If
large.
I'm going for luxury, I want the
Yeah.
Infiniti.
I mean,
I
you get
do. I
more-
do really like the Stinger though.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
the
a
Stinger
big fan
get
of
cooled
that.
seats and everything like that. Also, I don't like the vacuum noises the Stinger makes when you get on the
Oh, yeah, it
throttle.
doesn't make a good
vacuum
noise.
ghost. Yeah. The Infiniti was quite quick too. Even this base quote unquote powertrain.
Yeah, it's a little
Twin turbo
turbo
3.5.
V6. Yeah,
They put the BMW 3 Series 7th.
I'll have the 3 Series.
I have the 3 Series as well. Audi A3.
Why is that in here? I'd have the Infiniti over that.
Yeah. Ooh, I would take the Volvo S60 over all
Yeah,
of
me
them.
too. Yeah, I would as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with Bowers and Wilkins.
I think I would take the Infiniti over the Giulia.
Yeah, I would as well.
Lexus IS. Now, we just had this
Oh,
recently.
I would have the Lexus. Just because I like it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the Lexus too, and it looks good. I don't love the powertrain in that.
I don't either.
Lexus.
I like the powertrain better in the Infiniti, but I'd still have the Lexus.
Yeah, it'd be tough for me. I think I might take the Lexus.
The Lexus is still very proven in that form because it's just an NAV6, like very
Yeah.
basic car.
Yeah, I just get sick of the infotainment in the
I think
Lexus.
it's okay in that IS, isn't it?
It's okay, but it's good in the Infiniti.
It's true.
Yeah. ILX is dead. Integra doesn't need to be in there. 4 Series. Oh, these are all unranked. Oh, the CT4. That's a good question. Which would you take, the CT4 or the Q50?
The Q50.
Okay.
If it's a base CT4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did not care for the... I liked the interior layout of the CT4. I just didn't like the materials. Yeah.
Daily Motor top tip.
Yeah.
Don't touch the interior of your CT4 if you buy
just
one.
look at it.
And wear a blindfold
Oh, you
if you're
can't-
walking around back.
Oh, yeah. Chris doesn't like the U.S. Postal Service design style.
That's right.
Yeah. Is there anything else we can tell the consumers about the Q50?
It was gray
Hmm.
with brown interior.
The other car we had this week was the 2023 Honda HR-V, also known as the HERV.
The Herv. EXL?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't grow to love this car.
Oh, we didn't say if Q50 was a good car. Q50's a good car.
No.
It's not a good car.
No.
Okay.
Good car has to be like, if someone came up to you and said, I'm going to buy this, you could go, oh, cool. Like, good.
You
And-
wouldn't say that for the Q50.
No.
Because
Because if your cousin texted you right now and said, I'm thinking of buying a Q50, you'd go, I want to suggest something else.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyways.
And you do somewhere probably have a cousin out there in the universe who wants to buy a Q50. You have a million.
I do have a lot of cousins.
Yeah, and they all buy cars.
They do all buy cars, yeah.
Mhm. But yeah, the Honda, it's in a weird spot for me because if you want to buy a smaller car and you're poor, you should pinch your pennies and you should get something very reasonable like a Venue or like a Honda Civic.
Or a Chevy Bolt.
Yes. If you want to buy a small car and you're not poor, you should buy a Mazda CX-30
Or a Volvo XC40.
Yes. Ooh, good call. Yeah. Or maybe even a Lexus UX.
Yeah.
Yeah. They look cooler. They've got all the features you want. They feel genuinely nice. The Honda's in this weird spot of it's kind of pricey, but it doesn't feel special, cool. There's no like standout redeeming quality about the HR-V. Nothing.
What about the ridges that stop you from damaging the door panels and
I
trunk
think
area?
that's bullshit. You're still gonna damage the little bit. Like you're gonna scratch the little bits. That's just some BS.
That's marketing.
Honda, marketing crap. And Honda's in a really weird spot. And I bet you some of these listeners are gonna agree. Honda's in a weird position where they're coming out. They have really good products, but they're just expensive.
They are expensive.
The new CR-V starts at $34,000. The CX-5 starts at $28,000. The RAV4 starts in the 20s and everything like that. So it's like, yeah, the CR-V is good, but is it $4,000?
Honda's
better?
forgetting their roots. They're forgetting their
Yeah.
roots of just being very cheap, simple vehicles.
Mhm.
Though, what does the HR-V start at?
Probably like 25.
Go to the base model. See what it starts at.
See, we're gonna stick with. Oh wait, I'm gonna switch over to the screen here.
Double cam.
Mm-hmm. Compact, subcompacts. See full list. Honda HR-V. This has got to be last. Well, maybe. Well, that's probably predestination.
23.
2023 Honda GR-V. HR-V.
GR86. The modern SUV, it says. I don't care for Honda's website.
No? I think it's pretty straightforward. So starting with two-wheel drive only, you're looking at a $25,000 car.
Seems like a lot.
If you want to throw all-wheel drive in that, all of a sudden you're looking at a $26,500 car.
What trim is that? LX.
Yeah, for the LX model. Let's go to trims and specs.
I think that's new. Or I thought all of them were all-wheel drive. Guess not.
So compared to the Crosstrek.
I think all the EXLs are all-wheel drive, though. Maybe not.
Oh, look, hill descent control is standard on the all-wheel drive model.
Oh, okay.
How often have you ever used hill descent control?
I don't think I ever have.
Neither have I.
Unless it's as a joke for a review.
Yes.
What is not available? Walk-away auto lock, 18-inch wheels.
Which we've
Why would you
agreed the
want
18-inch wheels are
wheels?
bad anyway.
Yeah.
You'd rather have the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Compared to the Kona, it likes to say that adaptive cruise control. You can't get adaptive cruise control on a Kona? Or is it saying just not on the SEL
Probably
front-wheel
can't
drive?
just on the SEL front-wheel drive.
Optional heated seats. The cargo volume is a slightly bit larger apparently on the HRV. The walkaway lock, the 18-inch wheels. So all things you wouldn't want to have. And I guarantee you, even though this has 11 more horsepower than the Kona,
faster,
the Kona's going to
guaranteed.
feel faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That thing is so slow.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't think you're getting much more advantage with the HRV than a lot of these other cars.
I'm curious. Go to Mazda's website and see what the CX-30 starts at for a base model front-wheel drive.
Okay. Mazda CX-30.
Do you think? I bet you can get a base model CX-30 cheaper than you can get a base model
Oh, yeah.
HRV.
Yeah. An S, which is giving you...
$22,950.
Well, you got to throw destination there.
I know,
but
but
yeah.
still.
You're still getting Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and 191 horsepower. And look,
All-wheel drive standard.
So at 24 grand,
So
you're getting
for
a CX-30.
$2,000 cheaper than an HRV, a
Yes.
base HRV.
And you notice that Honda does not include the CX-30 in their little cute comparison thing.
Yeah.
Up here.
Well, because they know it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a look
Why
at
does
this.
it look like it's hovering?
That's a good question. You can get red interior on the
On
Mazda.
a base model? Oh,
no, you
have
got to
to
get the carbon
get
for
a
30
carbon.
grand. But still, I mean,
Yeah.
the things you can get.
Yeah.
What's a top trim CX-30? Wait, CX-30, build yours. The Turbo Premium Plus. Let's ignore the Turbo model. Premium. Adaptive front lighting, so steering lighting. Oh, it's not going to show us everything. I mean, a lot of good stuff. A lot of really
All-wheel
good stuff.
drive.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Should be about the same as the EXL.
32. But
Okay.
I think you're
It's
getting a lot more,
close.
and you know it's going to be a lot nicer inside. I do.
That
I
one
mean,
looks
like
nice. What's going on with that one?
that
must
is
be
a
a HPD.
sport in platinum white pearl with Honda genuine accessories.
Yeah, that whole front bumper looks different.
Not an attractive car, I will say. Cruise control is an advantage.
I don't mind the way that it looks. I think it looks okay.
Okay.
I think it looks better than the last one.
Here's the thing. I think the HRV is fine. It really is. In fact, I quite like the interior. I think it's super straightforward. I like the little center storage cubby console area.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think it needs a giant phallic shifter like that, it does work very easily.
Yeah.
It's got really good active lane keeping and adaptive cruise control.
Yep. Too expensive.
It's too expensive, and it doesn't have anything special about it.
Yeah.
At least you get in a CX-30 and you're like,
Wow.
this is a nice car.
Yeah.
Or you get in something, if you want an HRV, fine, but why wouldn't you buy a Civic? All-wheel drive. You don't need all-wheel
Buy snow
drive.
tires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you're somewhere that you genuinely do need all-wheel drive, I don't know, spend an extra $4,000 and get this Forester that we have.
That's a top tip right there.
Look at this. We're recommending a Subaru.
For the first time ever.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I recommended a manual WRX.
Mhm.
We've sold a lot of cars for Subaru,
Yeah.
and no one's ever said thank you. So,
Mhm.
anyways.
Anyway. Actually, that Todd guy did say thank
Oh,
you.
did he? Thanks, Todd, for noticing us.
Speaking of Subaru,
Ah,
I'd like to point out, and sorry, the Topher, if you're listening, I don't think I like the BRZ anymore. The BRZ 80 GR86.
why? What suddenly made you think of that?
It's just been like every week I feel like I like it less and less.
Why?
And it's loud.
Where is this coming from?
It's not very enjoyable to drive. It's grainy. It's way too much that fake sound that's piped in. The whole shifter thing's not that great. It's just not that. I just feel like I'd so much rather have a Miata.
I'm gonna trim this piece of the podcast and text it straight to Chris.
Oh no, I like Chris's BRZ, but here's a perfect example.
I'm kidding.
Chris has had to do so many things to his BRZ
To
make it a good car.
a good car, yeah.
And what has Tedward had to do to his Civic Si?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. The Civic Si has its things I would change with it,
Yeah.
but I just like the Civic and I just like the Miata. I never get in a Miata and think, oh, here are things I'd like to change. Whereas as soon as we got in the BRZ, I was like, ooh, we need to change this, we need to change that.
Subaru is famous for doing that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they give you a great platform and just poorly execute it.
Yes, always.
Yeah.
Yeah. WRX.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the WRX is like so many great things, but you're like, why is it too quiet? Why does it have a CVT?
Why is the idle deafening?
Yeah.
Why is the infotainment like that? Why can I only get Recaros with an automatic?
An adaptive suspension.
Yeah.
So I just don't like the BRZ anymore.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you heard it here first. Charlie no longer likes the BRZ.
Yeah.
Are we
That's-
segueing into the Forester?
Yeah, I guess we might as well.
Okay. This week at Daily Motor HQ, we have a 2022, probably, Subaru Forester Wilderness. And we should really go around the car and count not only the badges, because the badges alone would be a lot, but also the subtle hints, shall we say, that tell you it's a wilderness. Lots of gold, lots of wilderness badges, lots of embossments and things to remind you that you are in the, what was the word you used?
Conceited edition.
Yes, that.
I told Chris in confidence, but I'll tell you all as well.
Oh, good.
I do actually quite like the gold around the car. It's very cheesy. It's very silly. It's unnecessary. But I just from a purely, just the look of that kind of fake gold, it just looks cool. And I hate to say it because I know whenever I see someone driving that, I think that's stupid.
Everybody's always very smug driving those.
Mm-hmm. Does the Forester have? It doesn't have the gold tow hitch cover things, does it? And that helps.
That does help.
Because when I see that on the Outback, I vom a little. In my mouth.
It has black tow hitch covers on the Forester. Well, that just goes to show that the Outback is even more for
conceited narcissists.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Subaru's build configurator.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. The Forester is it's a better car. I've always thought the Forester is a car for people who...
It seems fine. We drove it this morning and it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's very cheap and you can tell that it's cheap, but I think they do a good job of disguising it.
So there are 6 Forester trims, starting at base...
People that aren't me.
For only 26
that
plus
is
destination.
Disgusting. What are those wheels? What is that?
I think it's kind of a weird rendering. Like, I don't think this is a real image of a car. It might be, actually. Yeah. The base car gets you Apple CarPlay, Android Auto.
Wow, Apple CarPlay.
8.7 inches of ground clearance, even on the base car.
That is a lot.
Mm-hmm. LED responsive headlights, so they're going to turn and everything. I mean, it's quite a few features there right at base. Premium, stepping up.
It's not a good-looking car from the front.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this facelift. That's the thing. A lot of Subarus used to just look very subtle and kind of attractive in that way.
Now they're trying to be Honda.
Overstyle. Yeah.
They're like trying to do what Honda did a few years ago and make everything angular and make it look like it was styled by a third grader. Okay.
Premium gets you power driver's seat, keyless access, panoramic roof, 17-inch wheels, powered rear gate.
There's a
Sport model.
Sport.
It's always been kind of silly to me because it gets all these silly accents and there's these little red bits around the car and it gets you...
And the wheels are probably too big.
Yes, they are. They're 18s. That gets you the X mode with hill descent control. Again, we know that's very, very important. Then you've got the Wilderness. That gets you an extra 0.5 inches of ground clearance over the normal car. Probably some extra skid plating as well. 17-inch wheels, a little bit better than 18. The anodized copper finish interior and exterior accents.
Anodized copper, gold.
Yes.
How would they call that copper? Copper has more of a red to it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's very much gold.
Yes, or bronze.
Bronze, yeah. I guess.
Yeah. Then you could step up to the Limited if you wanted, which is actually cheaper than the Wilderness. Probably a better car to get, honestly, because you're getting the dual zone climate control, blind spot detection, actual leather rather than
I didn't know.
wetsuit material.
I didn't know that these were this cheap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you've got your touring model at the very, very tippy top,
That one
36
looks
plus
nice. I like the
destination.
green.
Yeah, very cool green. It has the driver-focused distraction mitigation that watches your eyes with cameras. Heated front and rear seats.
I'm sure that doesn't make a fuss at all if you take your eyes off the road.
Oh, never.
No.
Saddle brown leather trimmed upholstery.
Oh, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can get a pretty nice Forester. Now let's hop
Can you have
over
a
real
manual?
quick. I don't believe so. I don't think you can
Will
have
Subaru sell you a manual anymore?
I don't think so. I think they killed the manual Crosstrek. Now the Outback starts at 28.
Yeah.
Is also ugly. So about 30 out the door. Also still 8.7 inches of ground clearance. But a top trim limited XT Outback is touring XT Outbacks pushing you up toward about
43.
44
How much is
after
the
destination.
Wilderness?
30.
Wait, what is the
the Wilderness?
what is the thing next to it?
The
No,
Onyx XT?
yeah. What is that?
That's it's like a weird kind of value package. We had one a few years ago. I didn't care for it.
You don't say.
Wilderness. So for the Outback Wilderness, you're paying, what is that, $5,000 more than the...
How much
the
ground clearance do you get with that?
9.5.
Oh, so it actually has more ground clearance than the Forester? Because the
Mhm.
Forester's 9.1,
9.2, I think.
9.2.
Mm-hmm. Extra 0.3 inches. That 0.3 makes a difference.
Yeah.
High capacity roof rails.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
High capacity.
All jokes aside, what I didn't care about with the Outback is I just didn't like being in it, and I didn't like driving it. I know we joke a lot about it's a silly edition.
No, there
You
wasn't
get to paint
anything.
everything
There
like
wasn't
that.
anything redeeming about the car. The sound system was terrible. The automatic climate control didn't work properly. The tires were loud.
Yes.
What have I complained about so far? The sound system was terrible.
The climate control
Climate
didn't
control
work.
didn't work.
Tires were loud.
Tires were loud. The infotainment was terrible.
The transmission was woeful.
Oh, the transmission was bad,
Yeah.
which is a shame because the engine wasn't bad.
Yeah. Yeah, everything just made it so I didn't enjoy driving that car. The Forester is just as sort of silly-ish, although it looks a little less silly because it's smaller.
I'll be curious to see what sort of mood you're in after. I want you to text me after you finish the fuel economy test on the Forester.
Yeah, that'll be
Because
telling.
I hope that the Forester actually has a properly working climate control system
Mm-hmm.
and it won't put you in a cross mood.
Excuse me, I'm getting some hungry burps.
Have you eaten today anything?
I don't come to work without eating like you do.
I don't come to work without eating. I eat a cheese stick on the road.
Daily Motor top tip, if you don't want to be hungry until about 10 a.m., eat
Yeah.
a cheese stick.
On the road while
On
you're
the road.
driving.
Yeah.
It's
I
easy.
see.
You just steer with your knees for a second, you peel it, and then you can eat it. I'm curious, when you're eating a string cheese, do you eat string cheese ever?
Mm-hmm.
Do you peel little strips off of it, or do you just eat it like take bites out of it and eat it?
I peel strips.
Do you? I take bites out of it.
Do you really?
Yeah. I used to peel it. You know, honestly, if I'm sitting down and I don't have anything to do, like if I'm just chilling, I will peel it. But if I'm on the road,
If you're
On
eating a
my
cheese
way
stick
in.
on the road,
if I'm eating a cheese stick on the road, then
you
I
eat
will
it
just
like a hot dog.
eat it like a candy bar. You know. Yeah.
Anyway, I hope the Forester gets better fuel economy than the Outback. Because that's another thing with
What
the
did the
Outback.
Outback get? That's another thing I was going to
something
complain
woeful,
about.
like 25 or something.
Woeful. Go on. Let's see what.
It's 26 is the
Oh, it's
EPA.
26. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, well, for the Outback it is.
Oh, I meant the Forester.
I think it's more.
Because you could see what it.
26 for the Outback Wilderness and Forester.
Oh, have you seen the new Impreza?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Forester
I
Wilderness
didn't even know that Subaru made the.
is 28, but
Okay.
25 in the city, which is quite a lot better than
That is quite a bit
21
better.
in the city for the Outback.
I thought Subaru killed the Impreza.
Hmm.
What do you think about the Impreza?
It's a good car. Oh wait, I'm thinking of the Legacy. Ooh, this is not new.
Yeah, it is.
What do
Well,
you
it's
mean?
facelifted.
Oh well, that's not this car's been out for a while.
I know, but it's different slightly.
Hmm. I'd rather have a
That's
Legacy.
hideous. What does that look like?
The Legacy
Yeah.
looks like the WRX.
No, it doesn't. The
Does it?
WRX looks better. The grill is massive. It looks like a Ford. That's what it is. It looks like an
Mm.
older, like a.
Yeah, it does kind of look like
Taurus.
Ford. How about this?
I don't mind the way that looks,
Yeah,
actually.
the Solterra.
Yeah, it looks okay.
The Accent looks better. Or Ascent, sorry.
It looks like an HHR. Don't deny that looks like an HHR from the front.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Small bit. All right. Can we move on from Subaru?
Please.
All right. The other car we have this week is the 2023 Lexus RX, specifically in 500 version.
You forgot a very important part.
F Sport Performance.
There you go.
And
And it's rose gold.
Because that's what everyone wants to do in their Lexus RXs is thrash them around on-ramps.
Nobody's ever thrashed a Lexus RX.
Yeah. Lexus
Except
RXs
us.
are supposed to show up in used car lots 22 years after they're built and look pristine. Because that's exactly what happens with 22-year-old Lexus RXs right now. Though that doesn't happen from people buying them in F Sport Performance packages and then hooning them. I wish Lexus would give up on this stupid trying to be performancy in their comfy cars. Okay, it's one thing if you want to build an RC and make an F version.
Yep.
Cool. Great. Do that.
Mm-hmm.
But even going back to things like the Lexus GS F Sport, or they made a GSF.
Yeah, the GSF was sweet.
It was sweet, but only to people who could never afford one.
Wow. All right then, Charlie.
Because legitimately, if you're in that market and you can afford a car like that, you don't buy a GSF. You buy something like a C63 or an
The
M3 or something.
GSF would be more.
Fine, you buy an
it'd be
E63. Yeah, or an E55
Or
or,
an
something like
M5.
that. Yeah. It's just...
No, the Lexus did have a cool factor because it was rear-wheel drive V8 naturally aspirated.
That just means slow to people at that price point.
Yeah, but some people in that segment are enthusiasts. Some people don't just buy the cars to go fast.
But what is there to be enthusiastic about a GSF? New. It's slower than everything else. It costs just as much, and it's a whale.
It's just cool.
But it's cool to us.
Yeah.
I don't think it's cool to new people, and that's like to people who would be buying them new, and that's why no one bought them, and that's why they don't make them anymore.
They are worth a lot of money.
Because it's a good example of a car that's only worth anything on the used car market.
Yeah, because it's a collectible.
Yeah. Yeah. All I'm saying is I wish Lexus would just build good, boring, comfortable old people cars again.
Yeah. I did like them when they did that.
Yeah. Because we've heard from the Topher that you can't actually use the cruise control in the new RX.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We got a slight taste of the system with the NX,
Mhm.
but the one we had was a prototype, and the system didn't work properly for me. In fact, it shut off halfway through my Winding Road night drive. So if you go back and watch that video, you can see it happen live. But
And apparently I didn't even remember we had an NX. That's
Charlie
how-
doesn't even remember having an NX.
Mhm.
You still don't
No,
remember?
I remember.
You do?
I
Okay.
remember dropping it off at your house. That's all I remember.
Yeah, that was before we came here in the mornings.
Yeah.
It was blue with red interior.
Yeah.
It was a nice, bright, sparkly blue.
Right. And at some point, your mother will pull the trigger and we will have sold Lexus a car.
I think she changed her mind.
Did she really?
Yep.
Changed her mind to get something else?
Yes, she is now thinking.
Ooh, I'm
she's
excited.
she's now thinking she's gonna go CPO'd BMW X3. Yep.
Ever since that X3M comp that we had?
No, she just one day over the past
she
couple
feel-
weeks was like, I don't want to get a new car. It's too expensive. I'm gonna get something CPO'd. And I was like, okay. Well,
That's not a terrible idea. I don't disagree with her getting a CPO car.
yeah,
And the X3 is a fine car.
yeah. You like the X3?
Yeah.
You like it more than the 3 Series.
Do I?
You said that on camera. We could pull it up.
Yeah. No, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I think I said the X3 makes more sense than a 3 Series.
Well, you also told everyone in our 3 Series video to buy an X3.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
So, and that's why she watched that video.
Because she has a 3 Series and now she needs to have an X3. Darn it. I willed this into existence.
Yeah.
The new NX is quite good.
It is, and I don't want her to get an older NX because a CPO'd NX would just feel ancient to her.
Yeah. How long does she want to own this vehicle? Because I'm under the impression
I don't
she
know.
wants to purchase a car and then not have to worry about a new car for like 8 years.
Well, she's only owned her 3 Series for 3 years.
Do you think she might want to churn a bit?
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Thanks, Siri.
Strange.
She thought we said 3 Series.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. We're looking at X3s. She showed me one. She showed me one 2 days ago that was an M40i, and I was like,
She's gonna pull out onto Willis Road and set her hair on fire with the X3 M40i.
I was like, the M40i is awesome, and it's what I would get, but you just get the 4-cylinder because it's gonna be more fuel efficient. It'll be plenty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it'll be just as quick as her 3 Series that she has now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
if she's considering CPO, would she go with a Macan?
maybe we'd have looked at Macans
Because Porsche's CPO is great.
it is great. It's 2 years unlimited mileage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's mostly bumper to bumper with Porsche. BMW doesn't give you as many things. Porsche's CPO is great. I have never driven a 4-cylinder Macan though, and that's probably what she would get. Have you driven?
It's still good.
Is it still good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I don't know. I think that would scare her a little bit. I think she'd be intimidated by a Porsche.
What about a CPO XC40 from Volvo?
XC40?
Because Volvo has the best
I think
CPO program.
She'd probably want to go XC60.
Why?
Same thing.
Why?
XC40 is pretty tiny. I think
so is her 3 Series.
I know.
It probably has
But
the same
the-
interior real estate as 3 Series. Her one son has plenty of cars to go around. He's
That's
never going to be
true.
riding with her. There's still enough room in the back
She
of
won't.
it.
She won't buy one because my
Why?
cousin has one.
Is she's like Emily. She
Yes.
won't own a car that
She
another
won't own
woman
a
owns.
car that someone else in the family owns. So the
Come on,
XC40 is scrapped. So it would have to be an XC60.
But tell her that your cousin doesn't own one. She owns an XC40 Recharge.
Yeah, same
Different
body,
model.
same thing. It took me a lot of convincing. The lady that she parks next to at work has an NX, and it took so much convincing for me to be like, it's okay. And also, you know what really did it is me saying this is a new generation of NX. It would be a different car, so you'd park next to her, and yours would be better.
Has she seen that the XC40 can have a bright orange interior?
No, but she'd probably love that.
Yeah.
I will show.
She
her
is an
some
orange
Volvos.
enthusiast, right?
She likes orange, yeah.
Just like
she'll-
Steve.
Yeah. Hi, Steve. She likes she likes to be unique with her vehicles, which is why she got saddle interior on her 3 Series because it's like not super common on an F30. But
Pre-owned-
she's looking at X3s and they're all just like white with beige interior. I'm like,
Well,
don't
right,
do
because
that.
that's all they were. That's
They're-
what
it's like
people
such an
lose.
NPC car. Ooh, that's lovely. What's the red one doing?
This is an XC40 R-Design T5 all-wheel drive with 18,000 miles for $41,000.
Seems expensive.
Well,
Maybe not.
Used
Volvos
cars are
are pretty
expensive
expensive. Ooh, look at the blue one.
mm-hmm.
Can we see the blue one?
What do you want to see?
I just want to see
The color is bursting blue.
I know, but I want to see the interior.
Looks
Because if
black.
it has black interior, then I'm not interested.
I think it's black.
My mother will not. Ooh, Alcantara. My mother will not get black interior because when she wears shorts in the summer, it is too hot on her legs. That's a woman issue.
Yes. I wonder.
I love the blue. Looks great.
I wonder how you can. I don't think you can filter by interior color, but you know what we can do? We'll hit up our friends at Auto Trader. Auto Trader, if you'd like to sponsor the Daily Motor Podcast, email me, charlie@thedailymotor.com. You know, they started with Doug, and then I'm sure they'd want to move on to us at some point. Volvo XC40. You know, Auto Trader has a nice feature where you can sort by interior color. Or not sort by, but filter by. XC40 interior color. See more. Orange. 0. That's unfortunate.
Custom order. What is that? Oh, custom color, it says.
No, custom order, like you can go on to Suburban and custom
And
order.
custom order it, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, well.
they did make it. Let's do this. XC40. I don't know how she'd be able to find one, but look at that.
Oh, that's red.
It's orange. It's orange, trust me.
Oh, you know why?
Why?
It's just the carpet, so I bet on Auto Trader it's categorized still as black interior.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's sweet, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you used to do stand-ups?
Yeah. I started with stand-ups. Look at that. Mm-hmm. See if 1080p will load here on our S-tier
Wi-Fi.
internet connection. But it'd be cool if she'd consider a Volvo because they do actually do a great
I
CPO.
love Volvos. I mean, I every time I have a Volvo, I
Mm-hmm.
talk it up and just
There it
like,
is.
this is the best thing about it. That is very orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's very, very subtle, but very cool. What else could she consider that? What about a Volvo V60?
No, she hates wagons.
Oh my gosh. Lisa.
I'm telling you, man, I've weighed every option and she's just very much on an X3 now.
Maserati Levante.
No,
Too big?
I am not letting. Why would you? No.
CPO. Although she'd have to take it all the way up to what, like Bloomfield Hills or
Yeah.
Birmingham to get it serviced
I don't.
all the time.
You don't even like that car.
I'm just trying to think of what's different,
Yeah, I guess.
Because when your parents
Stelvio.
when your parents buy a new car, that's like an exciting opportunity because the world is their oyster. They could get anything.
I know. Stelvio.
Stelvio would be cool. What else is there out there?
Did you know? Sorry, go ahead. You're excited. Go.
You could find her the lowest mileage somewhere out in the country, Acura ZDX.
Okay.
Why wouldn't she have a ZDX?
I don't know.
No one's gonna have one.
No
Trust
one's
me.
gonna have one.
She's never gonna show up at work and have another ZDX parked.
That's
next
true.
to
She
her.
also retires in 19 days.
Mm-hmm. It's a good size. It'd be very reliable. It's kind of cool.
Too old.
All right. Well, anyway, say the thing you were gonna say, and I'm gonna look at ZDX.
I was gonna say, did you know that you can have an X3M competition now for like 60 grand?
That's pretty cheap for what you're getting. A lot of people were
They've depreciated quite a bit.
a lot of
already.
people were upset with us with how rude we were to that car.
Well, I don't like it.
I know, neither do I. That's the thing. People need to understand that it's not about them. It's about us.
It's about us, and we know best
Yeah. We're
because
telling you
we've
what
driven
we
the
think.
cars and you haven't.
Whoa, what's an Acura Vigor? Is that like an old car?
Yeah.
Okay. How many Acura ZDXs are there on AutoTrader in the whole country? Survey says 20. We're going to sort by lowest mileage. Does she care more about mileage or year?
Both.
Okay.
She doesn't want to go older than 2019. 2019 is her cutoff. She wants it to be at least 3 years newer than her current car.
Oof, everyone puts a lot of mileage on their Acura. Wait, the sort hasn't gone through, I don't think.
No, it probably did. They just the sponsored listings go on top no matter how you sort it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, here we go. A 2013 ZDX with 7,000 miles on it, Chris.
Ooh, let's buy that and park it forever.
Low miles, pano roof, navigation, heated and cooled seats.
So hideous. I love it. They're bringing that back, aren't they? Isn't there going to be a new ZDX?
Yes, an electric. Oh, she could get that. She could get an electric ZDX.
I told her to look at the RDX as well.
Mm-hmm.
RDX
The
is a
RDX
good
is
car.
decent. This is such a cool car, Chris.
It is a very cool car.
Look, you got proxy
I love when I
key.
see those in person.
Mm-hmm. Always becomes a good day. Blind spot monitoring, beautiful states. I should get Alyssa one of these.
You should get her that one with 7,000 miles on it.
This is excellent.
I think
Cool
Alyssa
gauges.
would like driving that.
She
It's
would.
got everything you need.
Alyssa likes to be unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at your this is how you control the infotainment probably. Or maybe that's just your volume control. Yes. Very
Is
Honda.
it just a V6 in that?
Yeah. I think it's just a 3.5. Yeah. I think I'll text Lisa, tell her $36,000 here for a 2013 ZDX with 7,000 miles. That should be her new car.
The bank would be like, "You're paying how much for a 10-year-old car?"
Tell them it's a classic. It's gonna appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Lexus RX is totally redone. I hope to our Lord and Savior that it is Lexus-y inside. I want it to be dead silent. I want there to not be a single rattle. And I want it to be super comfortable. If it's not those three things, it's not getting a good car from me.
All right. Well, stay tuned on the podcast and you'll find out next week if
Mhm.
we liked the RX.
Yeah. Because the Topher didn't quite care for it, did he?
I don't think he did, no.
Shame.
Shame.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm glad that we had a 22 RX last year.
Mm-hmm. Car was a bit ugly, but I liked it.
Had red interior, bright red interior.
Yeah, red interiors are cool.
It's because it was an F Sport handling.
Well, this one steps it up with F Sport Performance.
Wouldn't you rather have an F Sport performance than an F Sport handling? Because at least with the F Sport performance, you get
You're getting the power to
power
match the
to match the
handling.
handling. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Can you imagine if other brands did stupid things like that? Like,
I don't think
if
we'd
you had
allow anyone else to do it.
a Mazda CX-30 M Sport handling.
Mazda speed handling.
Gosh, there'd be Mazda would be crucified.
Yeah, they
If
would.
they did that. All right, you got anything for us?
Copart?
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
Okay.
Ooh, admittedly, I have not really been on Copart recently.
Well, it's been a vacation week.
I haven't been. What?
It's been a vacation week.
That's true, yeah. Oh, and I've been logged out of Copart.
That's how long it's
Good thing
been
I have
since you've been
Face
on
ID active.
there. Mhm.
I haven't been shopping as much for cars recently because I don't want to buy any.
That's a good reason not to shop for cars.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I showed this last time. This is kind of an interesting one. I mean, it isn't that interesting. If you want to tune off now, go ahead.
Wait, but stay tuned because I'm going to show you guys what I might be buying.
Oh, yeah. Stay till
Today.
the end. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
actually important.
Mm-hmm.
654 091 52.
This is a 2010 Audi S4 Premium Plus in Flint.
Buy it now for $5,000. It starts, but it doesn't drive.
Also, see the wheels?
Yeah, they're 1552s.
Is that like a famous wheel?
Yeah, it's like the Ken Block wheels.
Oh,
You know, like the ones my dad has on his RS.
really?
Same brand.
Are they solid in there? Like right there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they're solid.
can't be great for
They're
cooling.
cast.
Hmm.
But anyways, wow, the picture of the dashboard is great, nice and crisp.
Primary damage is mechanical, which is to be expected.
I think it needs a transmission, if I had to guess.
Can we just take the transmission out of this Audi that's out there and put
probably
it in?
yeah, that one's a manual out there too. Manual
Mm,
swap it.
Even better, yeah. S4s are cool though.
$5,000, supercharged V6.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some sort of an exhaust on it. You can see the tip sticking out there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. I told Corbett to buy it for a parts car for his.
Okay. Yeah, it goes up here
I
soon.
mean, it's $5,000. Who cares?
The current bid is so close to the buy it now. I'm surprised someone hasn't.
Yeah,
the reserve hasn't been met. I mean,
Yeah,
the reserve is probably the buy it now. Like,
well, or it's like 4,900.
Yeah.
They'll probably sell it, even if it doesn't go over 45. I'm sure it'll sell for that because
you should get rid of it.
yeah, even after like if reserve isn't met, it still goes to where the seller can
Yeah, that's what
counter.
happened. That's
Yeah.
what happened to my Lexus that I bought, and they were like, "Would you do this?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "All right, here you go."
I was gonna say usually they counter you, and then you just have to like stand your ground, and then usually they'll just be like, "Okay, fine."
Yeah.
Although one time I tried.
Yeah, I remember this.
I tried to buy a Volvo 850R off of Copart, and I was very excited about it. I won the bid for way too much money. I'm glad I didn't. I'm actually glad that I didn't win it because I would have been overpaying. I want to say the bid was like $1,200, which would have been with fees like $1,600 or $1,700, which would have been way too much for this car. But I won the bid, and then it sat on my app, and they what they do is they call you and they speak on behalf of the seller. And the seller wanted like $2,500 for this car, which was insane. And I was just straight up like, no, like I'm my top bid. I was like, I'll go like $50 over my top bid. Like that's where I'm at. And she was like, all right, I'll let him know. And then she calls me back and she was like, no, he declined. So I think that it was a private seller selling this Volvo 850R on Copart. I don't think it was an insurance company. I think it was just like some person sending their crappy Volvo through the auction. So I didn't end up buying it. The Topher and I actually went and looked at it in person. So that
ran
was
like
fun.
shit, right?
It didn't run like shit. It just smoked.
Okay.
So it needed some sort of maybe turbo seals or something. It ran fine, sounded good. It had a full exhaust. It had aftermarket wheels. It had coilovers. Had a good amount of upgrades. Fun fact, that car popped up on Facebook Marketplace a couple months later for like $3,000 or something.
Okay.
So
And then did it sell? I
Yeah.
mean, did it go? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you could have made money if you had gotten it for what you.
barely.
Oh yeah, because who knows what the Facebook person had to do to it?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm glad that I didn't get that car, and then instead I bought a S Class with bullet holes in it instead, which you can see how far I've gotten with that car. Actually, Charlie has been the biggest help with that because he drove it to get a windshield.
Yes.
I don't know if I showed this car last week or not, but we'll show it again, even if I did. 658-214-42.
This is a 2006 Porsche Cayenne Turbo up in Lansing, Michigan.
And it does not look that bad.
You did not show this. This
Oh.
is a pure
Thought
sale.
I showed it.
Oh, it's future sale, but run and drive with only. Yeah, this doesn't look too
Just
bad
needs
at
a-
all.
Looks like it just needs a bumper cover, maybe that little radiator down there at the bottom.
I'm sure that's not expensive at all. The interior looks
Maybe
really
a
good.
headlight also.
Why does Dane not buy this? This is great for Dane.
This would be great, but he has an E46. He loves that E46. He is having the time of his life. He's put 2,000 miles on that car already.
Mhm. Yeah, he got a Christmas tree with it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, that E46 was a great car. If you weren't in the press cars, that would have been a great, like, you would be enjoying driving
I would have
it.
kept it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we
you would've
didn't
got it
always have
running
cars.
properly, and yeah.
Well, it runs it. He's done nothing to it.
Yeah, you just put some premium in it, right?
Yeah,
Fluffed
he
up
has
there.
done nothing to it. He
Wow.
literally bought it. He only changed the oil. That was
Mhm.
it. He hasn't done anything else.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
I liked that car.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you drove it quite a bit. You might have put more miles on it than I did.
Yeah.
And Keone drove it a little bit. Corbett drove it to work for a couple weeks while the ML was broken.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so for this 06 Cayenne Turbo with 170,000 miles on it, running and driving, how much would you pay for this?
Well, it looks like retail's about 11 grand if it were to be fixed. I would say that that's probably pretty accurate because
Mhm.
a regular Cayenne would be like 7 grand, so a turbo a little bit more. I would pay 2 grand.
Yeah?
Because you don't know what's wrong with it.
Well, this.
I know, but you don't know like mechanically what's wrong with it.
Yeah, I wish they would have showed the whole gauge cluster to see if there
Obviously,
were
it has a bulb out and it has no gas.
Okay.
So you can tell it hasn't been properly cared for.
Well, it's also been an insurance auction for who knows how long.
That's true. I don't know. I never want to pay a lot for a car from auction. Like I would rather just get something really cheap.
Stupid cheap stuff.
Especially since I overpaid for that S-Class.
Is there been anything stupid cheap pop up recently that's been fun?
On Copart?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have anything else. Jackie O's car has been relisted for the 3rd time.
Mm.
But it is now in a different location.
Oh, it moved? They're like, this'll do it.
They moved it with the forklift and they detailed it. The whole interior is clean now.
Mm.
Look at that.
That'll
Look at the
probably help.
seats. Yeah.
Chris, how about this Dodge Charger Scat Pack?
The only reason you would buy that would be if you needed a title for a car.
Mm-hmm. Which is actually
So,
plausible around Detroit.
I was going to say, so if you stole a Scat Pack,
you could buy that one.
you could buy that one,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
take all the VINs and the title from that,
Yep.
and put it on the one you stole.
Let's see what's running.
Allegedly.
and
We don't condone that sort of behavior here. I'm just saying if someone were to be...
Let's pick out a car for your mother here from the running and driving no license required Detroit car selling this week. Mm-hmm. You could get a Wrangler, Ford Flex, Hyundai Genesis. Wow.
My dad wants her to get a Bronco.
I could see him wanting that.
My dad really likes the Bronco.
He's a very you car, Chris.
I told her she'd hate the... Ooh, that's lovely.
This is a 1989 Lincoln Town
You could
car.
continue crashing that and it would be fine. Look at the bumper. The bumper didn't even move.
Yeah.
The bumper is where it was. To be fair, whatever they hit probably went over the bumper, but still.
I think it's a cool bench seat up in the front.
I like those a lot. You know that I like these.
I know. That's why I said it's a very you car. Someone put two. Oh, wait. It's only
21.
21,000.
It's probably
rolled over.
121 because these only have the 5-digit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool.
What was the point of only putting a 5-digit odometer in cars in the 70s?
Chip shortage.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm. See what you can get with a manual transmission. There are 11 manuals.
Let's buy one of them. Go to a random number generator and pick 1 through 11.
Okay.
Oh, excellent.
This is a 2009 Pontiac Vibe GT running and driving.
The headlight's on the ground.
Just minor front damage.
You know if those came in all-wheel drive?
Yeah. This one, I mean, it's just a Toyota Matrix, so it's a very reliable car.
One of my friends in high school had one of those.
Did he
She
like
had
it? Oh, she.
It was a girl. Well, she had a Passat wagon prior and then switched to a all-wheel drive Vibe. What is that?
This is a 2012 BMW S1000 RR. This is kind of like the bike I rode out in California, but not quite as hopped up and also older, obviously.
Sure, that sticker being on there is good.
Mm-hmm.
For it.
17,000 miles. That's a lot of miles for this bike. Not that damaged, honestly. It's so tough to tell
Someone
with
just
bikes,
dropped
though.
it.
Yeah. What does it say it's worth? Oh, it doesn't.
2,300.
Oh yeah, 13 grand. That's probably. It's probably a little high, but
That's just what they got from insurance for it.
that's pretty good.
Honda Civic, Ford Focus, some Harley garbage. Nissan Versa.
This Jetta
Volkswagen
looks like it's in
Jetta.
pretty good shape.
Comfort Line.
Oh, just kidding. The side of it has been
Eaton.
quite hit.
That's the window regulator dangling out.
Wow. Like the car's guts just oozing. Some semi-trucks.
Not many manuals.
Mm-mm.
What's that Focus doing?
Well,
Oh, it's rear-ended badly.
it has been, as we like to say,
Holy
ass-packed.
moly. I hope that was parked, because if not, I bet that hurt pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Steering airbag didn't go off, so oh no, maybe it did.
Where?
Steering wheel airbag?
Why would the steering wheel airbag go off if you got rear-ended?
Well, because your head would go back,
Yeah.
and then you probably go forward. It would,
I don't think steering wheel airbags go off when you get rear-ended ever. I don't think any airbags go off when you get rear-ended. Maybe side airbags.
well, if you needed front parts,
Yeah.
engine honestly looks pretty clean.
If you need the front clip, it looks like a clean car. How many miles on it?
120,000.
Yeah, there you go. If you need a nice low mileage engine and a front clip for a American market only Focus, then there you
Mhm.
go. That was such a weird generation of
That
Focus.
was so weird. It was just such a shame that like Europe had such an awesome version of the Focus.
That's not the one.
I know, but it's similar. Like it's,
We had that Focus here.
I know.
We didn't have the RS, but
This is a Fusion, Chris.
oh, sorry. Yeah.
And then instead they were like, let's just make this weird version that sucks.
we didn't even get a hatchback.
No.
We had a
Sedan
coupe.
only.
We had a
Mhm.
coupe.
That was a weird coupe.
So strange. Everyone that I went to high school with had one of those.
Except for
My
the
high
person that
school-
had a vibe.
That's true. The high school parking
And
lot
probe.
at my school was mostly Focuses. First gen facelifter. I don't know if you technically would call that a second gen, like the 07.
No, it's a facelift.
First gen facelift and second gen Focuses were the most common thing.
Well, I had a
And
Focus in
pickup
high
trucks.
school, and Nathan had a Focus in high school.
see, there you go.
The Focus was such a great car.
Yeah, everybody had a Focus because they
Mhm.
just ran.
They're just simple, cheap, and fun. It was a good chassis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what they used for their rally cars. My SVT Focus was essentially a rally car.
You have had two Focuses, haven't you? Because didn't you have a base Focus and an SVT, or did
Nope.
you just? Oh,
It
you
was
just had
Nathan
SVT.
who had the base.
You had an SVT in high school?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No wonder you pulled so much.
I started
Before the girls. They walked around back
to see the SVT
and
badge.
they said, "Oh,
The thing is, they didn't
It's an
even need to
SVT.
walk to the back because I had the Euro package that had the special headlights and wheels.
oh." So they knew just by seeing it
Mhm.
from the
And
side.
the Sonic Blue, which I believe was an SVT only color.
Probably, yeah. I think, yeah, because Sonic Blue came on the Terminator Cobra also, and the F-150 Lightning. That's what I want next.
An F-150 Lightning?
SVT Lightning. That's what I want next.
Okay, well that will go along nicely with the last thing we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
The if y'all can see all my Facebook messages here, the offer of trade that I have gotten for my Escape. It's a 2003 Ford F350 Super Duty with the 7.3 Power Stroke diesel, FX4 King Ranch.
Yeah, this seems too good to be true, and I'm telling Charlie that if it isn't too good to be true, then he needs to do it. Now, cosmetically, it is a little rough, but all King Ranch interiors look like this. It's mostly the outside that's
Mhm.
kind of...
Yeah, the interior honestly doesn't even look too bad. I bet you what I'm assuming is this has about 600,000 miles on it. That someone used it to tow things all around the world, and this person came into it a few months ago and probably has some big thing that it's going to need, and that's why he's looking to get it. But I will point out what he told me, and I just realized no one's been able to see the screen. I'm sorry. What he told me is that he wants to get something better, more fuel efficient for driving around and stuff, an SUV. And I believe that because diesel's very expensive right now. And this
Yeah.
truck probably gets 15 on the highway on a good day. And I could see someone just being like, look, it's stupid for me to be driving around in this thing if he doesn't actually need to pull a lot. So I think that's legitimate. I think
Yeah.
that's
It's a
fair.
good thing you are a very successful uterist, and you'll be able to
Yes,
diesel.
afford the diesel
It
fuel.
looks
for this.
squatted. I think it's just because the bed's full of stuff in that picture.
Yeah. Chris pointed out.
I don't care for the wheels either.
Yeah, it does have aftermarket wheels.
And the driver's side front fender is exploded.
The passenger side front fenders had
Something
some,
fell on that one, but the
Mm.
driver's side one looks like a tire blew, and it just like blew the whole fender out.
Also, this tailgate is not sitting flush.
No, it's probably not the original tailgate. Looks like
Mm.
it's a different color. Doesn't it look
Mhm.
black?
Honestly, rust-wise, it doesn't look awful though.
No, sometimes these trucks hide things.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it would be interesting to see it.
You'd
in person.
really want to see. Yeah, you'd want to be careful about rust. Sometimes the shackles that hold in the bed rust through the bed. More so on Rangers, but you'll see it on F-150s too.
Okay. Also, a lot of these photos are taken obviously much earlier on in the year. These don't look super recent. So, and this one might. There's still a lot of leaves on the trees. It looks pretty good though. Like it's just kind of a cool.
It's a
truck.
nice looking truck.
I've always
Yeah,
liked the
I
look
like
of
these.
and it's the
Yeah.
burgundy-ish color, which is
That's
kinda
like
cool.
ideal spec.
Yeah.
I would love to have a King Ranch.
Yeah. So we are waiting on a reply from this individual to see if he will trade for my Escape. Which, don't get me wrong, I love the Escape. I would keep the Escape if I had a need for the Escape. But honestly, if I got this King Ranch, I'd sell Peggy.
And on that bombshell, it's time to end.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, because this legitimately would, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Where? How long is that? Where would it go? You'd have to back it up real far in the B lot
Yeah, it's a large vehicle.
into the fence.
Chris thinks I should take it home, but I think it would lower our property values.
Well, your neighbor.
Yeah, but we're parked. It's the neighbor's next to me.
Would it fit under the carport?
It might be tight.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just hearing that thing? Can I make it roll coal and be an asshole like that?
It probably already does. Most of those are all tuned and stuff.
Yeesh. Yeah, what I really hope, it's 12:18 p.m. right now. I hope in about 30 minutes the guy replies and says, "I'm around, come by anytime." Chris and I can hop in the Escape with the title and go to whatever trailer park this guy lives in.
Swap.
And check it out.
Swap titles.
Even if we don't do the trade, it'd be a cool thing.
What if
to
it
go
has a
check out.
salvage title? Would you still take it?
Why not? I mean, at that
That's
point,
true.
what
Yeah, who
matters?
cares?
Yeah. Ford's not going to cover my recalls anymore. Like, yeah.
Plus, like, you have to imagine that for what you have into the Escape, even if you had to part that thing out, you would make
probably.
money.
Yeah, and that's the thing is the Escape's not worth much, like scrapped or parted or anything like that.
But that truck has valuable parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would something like that have cats?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Although they're probably
I don't
blown
see why
through at
not.
this
Yeah,
point.
probably.
But,
I'm curious how many miles are. I guarantee it has more miles than your Escape.
Yeah.
There's no way it doesn't.
Yeah, my Escape has 330,000 miles.
I thought it was 320.
329.7.
Okay.
Essentially 330.
He knows the mileage.
I guarantee you the Escape drives better. But the truck,
that Escape is great.
I know.
It's a great car.
The truck probably. Oh, I don't have a VIN. I'd love to bring up the Carfax for that truck.
Can you get the plate? Are there any photos of the plate?
Probably not.
Because I could run it backwards.
He probably. Oh,
Can you
it's so
see it?
close. No, I can see that there is a plate, so that's something. I want to know what off-brand tires these are too, because good tires are never all shined up. Like if you have like Goodyear Wranglers, they look proper like tires. It's the cheap tires
Those
that are
are
always
from
all
Walmart
like,
for sure.
Yeah,
Or
they're
China.
polished.
So no pictures of the plate, huh?
No plate pics.
That's a sweet looking truck. And it doesn't have any like disgusting aftermarket peats, but besides the wheels and tires. But otherwise it doesn't have any like vile light bars or way too bright headlights.
Yeah,
or,
and it's not lifted up all unattractive or anything.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious. This can be cool. So thank you all so much for tuning in and listening to the Daily Motor Podcast. I'm sorry that we are not quite as enthusiastic about life on this one as we have been in others. Blame the fact that we've had kind of boring cars.
And we had to get up early.
Yeah.
I have been up now for like 5 hours.
Yeah. Tough life.
Sometimes I wake up at this time.
Gen Z problems.
when I'm up till 3 a.m. editing 16 Winding Road videos.
We will be back next week, probably very enthusiastic, because we will have just gotten done with a week of wildernessing.
Wildernessing and F-Sport performancing.
Yes. And we'll talk at you then for episode 50 of the Daily Motor Podcast. We should look at Ferrari F50s next week.
Yes, we should.
Mhm.
And
I love that
50th
car.
anniversary Mustangs.
Yes. And maybe talk about your 50th year anniversary BMW M3 that you drove.
Oh, yeah. We could talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks for tuning in. We are Paris and Nicole with Daily Motor. And as always, Wilderness on.